Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges people to be more alert and careful amidst COVID-19 pandemic. In his Mann Ki Baat address today, Mr. Modi hails the spirit of service by the people, calling it Seva Paramo Dharma, says the number of Ayushman Bharat beneficiaries crossed over 1 crore. Prime Minister emphasizes the need to develop the eastern region, saying it has the capacity to be the country's growth engine. Phased withdrawal of lockdown announced, containment zones to remain under complete lockdown till 30th June. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients improves to nearly 48%, and US postpones the G7 summit till September. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged people to be more alert and careful in the midst of the COVID pandemic, even as a major segment of the economy has been opened up. Addressing the nation in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio this morning, the Prime Minister said train services have resumed, including the Shramik special trains and special trains.
इस बार बहुत कुछ खुल चुका है। श्रमिक स्पेशल ट्रेनें चल रही हैं, अन्य स्पेशल ट्रेनें भी शुरू हो गई हैं। तमाम सावधानियों के साथ हवाई जहाज उड़ने लगे हैं। धीरे धीरे उद्योग भी चलना शुरू हुआ है, यानी अर्थव्यवस्था का एक बड़ा हिस्सा अब चल पड़ा है, खुल गया है। ऐसे में हमें और ज्यादा सतर्क रहने की आवश्यकता है। 2 गज की दूरी का नियम हो, मुंह पर मास्क लगाने की बात हो सके वहां तक घर में रहना हो, ये सारी बातों का पालन, उसमें जरा भी ढिलाई नहीं बरतनी चाहिए।
Mr. Modi stated that the fight against corona is a reflection of resilience and collective efforts of the people. He pointed out how the country faced unique challenges with a vast population, and yet corona did not spread as fast as in the other parts of the world. He noted that the mortality rate of corona is a lot less in the country. The Prime Minister hailed the spirit of service shown by the people and called it the biggest strength. He said, Seva Paramo Dharma, service is a joy in itself, is a way of life in India. He cited the examples of K.C. Mohan of Tamil Nadu, Gautam Das of Agartala, Raju a Divyang from Pathankot, who went out of the way despite limited means to help others in this time of crisis. Mr. Modi added that numerous stories of perseverance of women's self-help groups are coming in the fore from all corners of the country. The Prime Minister shared how the instances of innovation at this moment of crisis have touched his heart.
कोरोना की वैक्सीन पर हमारी लैब्स में जो काम हो रहा है, उस पर तो दुनिया भर की नजर है और हम सबकी आशा भी। किसी भी परिस्थिति को बदलने के लिए इच्छा शक्ति के साथ ही बहुत कुछ इनोवेशन पर भी निर्भर करता है। हजारों सालों की मानव जात की यात्रा लगातार इनोवेशन से ही इतने आधुनिक दौर में पहुंची है। इसलिए इस महामारी पर जीत के लिए हमारी ये विशेष इनोवेशंस भी बहुत बड़ा आधार है।
Sharing his pain at the sufferings and hardships of people due to the pandemic, the Prime Minister said, coronavirus has afflicted all sections of society, but the underprivileged laborers and workers have been the most affected. He said the entire country understands and feels what they are going through, and everyone from the centre, states to local governance bodies are toiling round the clock. He praised the people who are relentlessly engaged in safely transporting lakhs of laborers in trains and buses, caring for the food and arranging for the quarantine in every district. Mr. Modi emphasized that the current scenario is an eye-opener as well as an opportunity for scrutiny and lessons for the future. He said the distress that the country's workforce is undergoing is representative, the one being faced by the eastern region of a country. The Prime Minister emphasized the need to develop the eastern region, which has the capacity to be the country's growth engine. The Prime Minister said the need of the hour is devising a new solution. He said government has taken several steps in this direction. He added that recent decisions taken by the centre have opened up vast possibilities of village employment, self-employment and small-scale industry. He expressed confidence the Ayush Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign will take the country to greater heights in this decade.
तमाम चुनौतियों के बीच मुझे खुशी है कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत पर आज देश में व्यापक मंथन शुरू हुआ है। लोगों ने अब इसे अपना अभियान बनाना शुरू किया है। इस मिशन का नेतृत्व देशवासी अपने हाथ में ले रहे हैं। बहुत से लोगों ने तो ये भी बताया है कि उन्होंने जो जो सामान उनके इलाके में बनाए जाते हैं, उनकी एक पूरी लिस्ट बना ली है। ये लोग अब इन लोकल प्रोडक्ट्स को ही खरीद रहे हैं और वोकल फॉर लोकल को प्रमोट भी कर रहे हैं। मेक इन इंडिया को बढ़ावा मिले, इसके लिए सब कोई अपना अपना संकल्प जता रहा है।
Mr. Modi stated that the number of beneficiaries of Ayushman Bharat scheme has crossed over 1 crore. He said if the poor had to pay for the treatment, more than 14,000 crore rupees would have been required to be paid out of their own pockets.
आयुष्मान भारत योजना के साथ एक बहुत बड़ी विशेषता पोर्टेबिलिटी की सुविधा भी है। पोर्टेबिलिटी ने देश को एकता के रंग में रंगने में भी मदद की है। यानी बिहार का कोई गरीब अगर चाहे तो उसे कर्नाटका में भी वही सुविधा मिलेगी जो उसे अपने राज्य में मिलती। इसी तरह महाराष्ट्र का कोई गरीब चाहे तो उसे इलाज की वही सुविधा तमिलनाडु में मिलती। इस योजना के कारण किसी क्षेत्र में जहां स्वास्थ्य की व्यवस्था कमजोर है, वहां के गरीब को देश के किसी भी कोने में उत्तम इलाज कराने की सहूलियत मिलती है।
The Prime Minister said during the present corona pandemic, people are paying serious attention to yoga. People everywhere want to know more about yoga and along with it, Ayurveda and adopt it as a way of life.
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस जल्द ही आने वाला है। योग जैसे जैसे लोगों के जीवन से जुड़ रहा है, लोगों में अपने स्वास्थ्य को लेकर जागरूकता भी लगातार बढ़ रही है। अभी कोरोना संकट के दौरान भी ये देखा जा रहा है कि हॉलीवुड से हरिद्वार तक घर में रहते हुए लोग योग पर बहुत गंभीरता से ध्यान दे रहे हैं। हर जगह लोगों ने योग और उसके साथ साथ आयुर्वेद के बारे में और ज्यादा जानना चाहा है, उसे अपनाना चाहा है। कितने ही लोग जिन्होंने कभी योग नहीं किया, वे भी या तो ऑनलाइन योग क्लास से जुड़ गए हैं या फिर ऑनलाइन वीडियो के माध्यम से भी योग सीख रहे हैं। सही में योग कम्युनिटी, इम्यूनिटी और यूनिटी सबके लिए अच्छा है।
The Prime Minister lauded the courage and bravery with which the people of West Bengal and Odisha during the cyclone Ompun. He said the ordeal they faced and the manner in which they showed their grit and determination is commendable. Mr. Modi said many parts of the country have been affected by locust attacks. He said efforts are on and from centre to state governments, agriculture department to administration, everybody is involved using modern techniques to help the farmers and reduce crop loss due to this crisis. The Prime Minister said the entire world will celebrate World Environment Day on the 5th of June. The theme for this year's World Environment Day is biodiversity.
स्वच्छ पर्यावरण सीधे हमारे जीवन, हमारे बच्चों के भविष्य का विषय है। इसलिए हमें व्यक्तिगत स्तर पर भी इसकी चिंता करनी होगी। मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है कि इस पर्यावरण दिवस पर कुछ पेड़ अवश्य लगाएं और प्रकृति की सेवा के लिए कुछ ऐसा संकल्प अवश्य लें जिससे प्रकृति के साथ आपका हर दिन का रिश्ता बना रहे। हाँ, गर्मी बढ़ रही है, इसलिए पक्षियों के लिए पानी का इंतजाम करना मत भूलिएगा।
Mr. Modi said people have the responsibility to save water as well. He stressed on the need to save rainwater and said everyone must strive for water conservation. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar said that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emphasized the importance of conserving every drop of water in his Mann Ki Baat address today. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said the Prime Minister spoke about planting trees, cherishing country's rich biodiversity and coexisting with nature.
Moving over to other news of the day, the government has announced the phased withdrawal of lockdown to fight COVID-19. The first phase of nationwide unlock starts from tomorrow after the fourth phase of lockdown ends today. Except for the containment zones demarcated by the state and union territory governments, the first phase of unlock for the remaining part of the country will begin from tomorrow. All activities have been allowed in green and orange zones from 5 in the morning till 9 in the evening, except for few which will be opened up in a phased manner starting from the 8th of next month. Starting tomorrow, there stands no limitation on intra and interstate movements unless the state government decides otherwise. For more details, let's listen in to our correspondent.
No separate permission or permits will be required starting from tomorrow for both intra and interstate movement by citizens as per the central government guidelines. Starting from 8th of June, the doors of temples and other religious places will be open for the devotees. Hotels, restaurants, hospitality services and shopping malls will also see visitors from 8th of next month after around 75 days of closure as per the standing operating procedures finalized by Health Ministry. Educational institutions including schools, colleges, coaching institutes will remain closed till 30th June and decision on their reopening will be considered only after consultation of all stakeholders. International air travel except those permitted by government, metro rail, cinema halls, gymnasiums, swimming pools, entertainment parks, theatres, bars, auditoriums, assembly places and any large congregation including the religious will continue to remain prohibited nationwide. However, the state government can impose larger restrictions than those proposed by the centre as per their assessment. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said that there will be a relaxation in many fields during Lockdown 5 in the state. He said that a majority of industries, economic and financial activities have already been started in the state. The Chief Minister was addressing media through video conferencing at Lucknow today. He said that government will go ahead in starting other activities in a phased manner in the state. Mr. Adityanath said that lockdown rules will firmly continue in corona containment zones. He stressed on avoiding of mass gatherings at any cost in the state. He said that mass gathering for religious, spiritual, wedding and other purposes will not be allowed. He said that people above the age of 65 years, children below 10 years of age, pregnant women and people suffering from comorbidities are to be paid with more attention and they should avoid coming out. Praising Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mr. Adityanath said that Mr. Modi has changed and transformed the country. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges people to be more alert and careful amidst COVID-19 pandemic. In his Mann Ki Baat address today, Mr. Modi hails the spirit of service by the people, calling it Seva Paramo Dharma, says the number of Ayushman Bharat beneficiaries crossed over 1 crore. Prime Minister emphasizes the need to develop the eastern region, saying it has the capacity to be the country's growth engine. Phased withdrawal of lockdown announced. Containment zones to remain under complete lockdown till the 30th of June. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients improves to nearly 48%. US postpones the G7 summit till September. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Health and Family Welfare Ministry said that the total 86,984 people affected with the novel coronavirus have been cured and the recovery rate has reached 47.75% in the country. During the last 24 hours, 4,614 people have recovered and 8,380 fresh cases of COVID-19 infections have been reported. Total number of affected people has reached 1,82,143. This is the highest spike in fresh cases in one day since the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in India. Health Ministry said 193 deaths have been registered in the last 24 hours, taking the nationwide toll to 5,164. The Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, has said that a total 1,25,428 samples were tested for coronavirus in the last 24 hours. With this, figure of total number of tests reached 37,37,027 in the country. ICMR is continuously scaling up its testing facilities for COVID-19 by giving approval to government and private laboratories. As of now, total 669 laboratories across India have been given approval to conduct the test for COVID-19, including 466 government laboratories and 203 private laboratories chains. The ICMR has advised the states to conduct sero survey to measure coronavirus exposure in the population using IgG ELISA test. In an attempt to decide the future course of action against the pandemic, ICMR has communicated a detailed plan to all the states to measure coronavirus exposure in general population as well as in high-risk populations. The numbers and frequency in different groups to be tested has been entrusted with states depending upon the requirement and situation in that particular area. The ICMR has said IgG antibodies generally start appearing after 2 weeks of onset of infection once the individual recovers after infection and last for several months. Therefore, the IgG test is not useful for detecting acute infection but indicates episode of corona infection in the past. Sero-surveys help to understand the proportion of the population exposed to corona infection, including asymptomatic individuals. ICMR said depending upon the level of sero-prevalence of infection, appropriate public health interventions can be planned and implemented for prevention and control of the disease. The Council said periodic sero-surveys are useful to guide the policymakers to conduct surveys in high risk or vulnerable populations like healthcare workers, frontline workers, immune-compromised individuals in containment zones to know who has been infected in the past and has now recovered. ICMR said the sero survey would be conducted using IgG ELISA kit. Scientists at ICMR National Institute of Virology, Pune, have developed and validated an indigenous IgG ELISA test kit for antibody detection of coronavirus. The test has undergone intense validation in 3 stages and has been found to have high sensitivity and specificity.
The Delhi government said that a total of 1,163 new confirmed cases of novel coronavirus have been reported in Delhi during the past 24 hours, taking the total number of affected people to 18,549. This is the highest spike in fresh cases in one day since the outbreak of the coronavirus in Delhi. The Delhi government has confirmed that 8,075 people affected with coronavirus have been cured so far, and the recovery rate has reached 43.53%. In the last 24 hours, 229 affected people have recovered and 18 deaths have been reported in the national capital, taking the toll to 416. In Gujarat, the death toll due to COVID-19 has crossed the 1,000 mark, with 27 new deaths reported during the past 24 hours. According to the State Health Department, 24 people died in Ahmedabad, while 1 death each was reported from Gandhinagar, Banaskantha and Mehsana. Total number of people affected with COVID-19 in the state has gone up to 16,356, with 412 new cases reported. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that out of 6,119 active cases, the condition of 6,057 people are stable, while 62 are on ventilator support. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients in Gujarat is constantly increasing. Against the national average of 47.40, the recovery rate of Gujarat has reached up to 56.43%. With 621 patients discharged from the hospitals yesterday, the total number of patients discharged after recovery reached up to 9,230. Meanwhile, setting the examples for the society, many individuals are rewarding frontline corona warriors in Ahmedabad. Sri Ajay Jani of Indian Oil Petrol Pumps is giving 2 rupees per litre cash discount to all corona warriors on purchase of petrol and diesel since lockdown 1.
अहमदाबाद शहर में हमारे 2 पेट्रोल पंप हैं, उनके माध्यम से हमने हर एक कोरोना वॉरियर को प्रति लीटर 2 रुपया कम लेकर डीजल और पेट्रोल देना आरंभ कर दिया। तो करीबन 50 दिन से ये सेवा कार्यरत है।
On the appeal from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he also distributed free ration, advance salary and accommodation to all his workers to avoid their migration. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Maharashtra Medical Education Minister Mr. Amit Vilas Rao Deshmukh today said that doctors and nurses will be hired on honorarium basis for treatment of people affected with coronavirus in Mumbai. He said doctors who are registered physically fit and are less than 45 years of age will be hired as per requirement. These doctors will be paid 80,000 rupees per month. Physicians and nurses will also be hired, and the Mumbai civic body will pay honorarium to them. Meanwhile, a farmer from Nasik district has emerged as a COVID Yoddha after he took up the noble cause to sanitize his village with the help of his tractor. More on this from our Mumbai correspondent.
The ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the fore several COVID warriors who are shouldering responsibility alongside the government to overcome the crisis. One such individual is Rajendra Jadhav, a farmer from Satana Taluka in Nasik district, who has installed a sanitizer spray machine on his tractor to sanitize his village. Talking to AIR, Rajendra Jadhav's son, Dhananjay says his father himself decided to participate in the battle against coronavirus, and as a reason he came up with this innovative idea. He said his father had already bought a machine to spray fertilizer on the crops they produce in their field. However, procuring sanitizer in such a huge quantity was a challenge due to the lockdown. Dhananjay says the sole aim of his father is to break the chain of the virus. Elated on being finding a mention in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Mann Ki Baat program today, Dhananjay says it was a momentous occasion for his entire family. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Under the Vande Bharat mission, 14 special flights will bring home more than 2,200 Indian nationals stranded from the Gulf countries. 8 flights are scheduled from the United Arab Emirates. 6 flights will take her from Dubai to Kochi, Kannur, Kozhikode, Thiruvananthapuram, Hyderabad and Ahmedabad. 2 flights are scheduled from Abu Dhabi, one to Kozhikode and the other to Thiruvananthapuram. The next phase of Operation Samudra Setu to repatriate Indian citizens from overseas will commence tomorrow. In this phase, INS Jalashwa will repatriate 700 personnel from Colombo, Sri Lanka to Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu and subsequently repatriate another 700 personnel from Malé, Maldives to Tuticorin. Indian Navy has already repatriated 1,488 Indian nationals from Malé to Kochi during the previous phase of operations. Indian missions in Sri Lanka and Maldives are preparing a list of Indian nationals to be evacuated and will facilitate their embarkation after requisite medical screening. After disembarkation at Tuticorin, the evacuated personnel will be entrusted to the care of state authorities. This operation has been progressed in close coordination with the External Affairs Ministry, Home Ministry, Health Ministry and various other agencies of the government and state governments. In a series Experts Speak, we bring you the views of leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. Anand Mohan, head of pulmonary medicine AIIMS, has advised people not to take medicines like hydroxychloroquine or anti-malarial without a prescription by a doctor.
Please do not take medicines such as azithromycin, other antibiotics, antivirals or hydroxychloroquine or other anti-malarials without a proper prescription by a doctor. Do not self-medicate.
Ms. Jacinta Gunjial, Senior Nursing Officer AIIMS, has stressed on the need for social distancing.
Social distancing is a non-pharmaceutical infection prevention and control intervention to break the chain of infection.
Participating in AIR live phone-in program on COVID-19, Dr. Sanjay Pandey, senior physician at the GB Pant Hospital in New Delhi, said improving recovery rates will instill confidence amongst people to fight this deadly virus.
इन्फेक्शन रेट है वो तो ज्यादा है बट उसकी सिवियरिटी कम है और उसी की वजह से आप देख रहे हैं कि जो रिकवरी रेट है वो धीरे धीरे बढ़ते बढ़ते 40-45 के आसपास आ चुकी है। तो यह एक इनकरेजिंग साइन है और उम्मीद करते हैं कि धीरे धीरे रिकवरी रेट में और इम्प्रूवमेंट होगा और इससे हमें अपने जीवन को नॉर्मलाइज करने में और सहूलियत होगी।
He also talked about the psychological impact of COVID-19.
डिप्रेशन, एंजाइटी, अगर आप पूरे दिन घर के अंदर हैं और जिसकी वजह से आपस में एक कन्फ्लिक्ट होने की ज्यादा संभावना होती है, इसकी वजह से डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस के काफी रिपोर्ट आए हैं। इस रीजन एक भी हो सकता है कि हमारे यहाँ जॉइंट फैमिलीज की जो परंपरा है वो काफी पुरानी है। एक लॉकडाउन में इस तरह का माहौल सा बन गया था जैसे एक जॉइंट फैमिली रहती है रादर देन न्यूक्लियर फैमिली की।
Noted actor Salman Khan has appealed to people not to believe or spread rumors during the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that the government is taking steps for the benefit of all and appealed to people to follow all government guidelines and directions.
ये जो गवर्नमेंट है ये आपके लिए और हमारे लिए हम सब के लिए बोल रही है, तो इसको सीरियसली लो, अफवाहें मत फैलाओ। ये हमेशा से एक प्रॉब्लम है कि सबको ऐसा लगता है कि ये हमारे साथ नहीं होगा। ये कोरोना वायरस किसी को भी हो सकता है, बस में, ट्रेन में, मार्केट में, हर जगह। पब्लिक हॉलिडे नहीं है भाई, ये बड़ा सीरियस मामला है। ये सब बंद करो, मास्क पहनो, प्रोटेक्ट करो अपने आप को, हाथ धो, साफ सुथरे रहो, लोगों से दूर रहो। ये सब करने में क्या दिक्कत है आपको?
The External Affairs Ministry has been conducting mammoth coordinating efforts spearheaded by Indian high commissions and embassies across the world under the Vande Bharat mission. More than 40,000 Indians have returned to India in over 230 flights and naval ships. In addition to this, COVID-related medical supplies have been sent to over 154 countries and rapid response teams have been deployed around the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held video conference with SAARC leaders over the pandemic, which led to the creation of COVID-19 Emergency Fund. Our correspondent takes a look at the various initiatives taken by the External Affairs Ministry during the first year of the Narendra Modi government's second term.
Over 100 virtual diplomatic meetings have been held to share perspectives on combating the coronavirus and tackling post-pandemic challenges. Under India's Neighbourhood First policy, Prime Minister Modi visited Bhutan, Maldives and Sri Lanka, reaffirming the friendship. Leaders of Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Myanmar and Mauritius visited India in the past year. There has been elevation of ties with the US following immensely successful visits of Prime Minister Modi and US President Trump, of which Howdy Modi and Namaste Trump were the highlights. A new dimension of defense cooperation and space partnership with Russia has emerged. Mr. Modi visited Russia last September and credit line of $1 billion was announced for development of Russian Far East. Prime Minister Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping held their second informal summit in Mamallapuram in October last year. Highlighting the India Way at United Nations, Mr. Modi led the Indian delegation at the UN General Assembly, participated in the Climate Action Summit and a special event commemorating 150 years of Mahatma Gandhi. He also led India's participation at the G20 Summit, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, G7 Summit outreach sessions, BRICS Summit and ASEAN-related summits. With Bhupendra Singh, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Swarms of locusts entered Chhattisgarh last night. A correspondent reports that locusts have entered Bharatpur block of Korea district from neighbouring area of Madhya Pradesh. The Chhattisgarh Agriculture Department has already alerted the farmers of the districts bordering MP and Maharashtra after locust attack in the neighbouring states. The Chhattisgarh government has instructed all district collectors to take necessary measures to save crops. The state government has also issued a helpline number for the farmers along with setting up a control room. US President Donald Trump has postponed the G7 summit till September. He has expressed his desire to expand the group to G10 or G11, including India and 3 other nations, Russia, Australia and South Korea, to the grouping of the world's top economies. The G7 members are US, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan and UK at present. Mr. Trump has been suggesting over the weeks that there is no greater example of reopening amid the COVID-19 pandemic than holding an in-person G7 summit in America by the end of June. He said the G7 summit could happen before the UN General Assembly session in September. The presidential election in the US is scheduled for November 3rd. Mr. Trump is seeking a second term in the White House.
Now let us take a look at the weather for today. The national capital Delhi witnessed minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be 35 degrees Celsius. The city is likely to experience cloudy sky, light rain or drizzle. Mumbai will witness generally partly cloudy sky. The maximum temperature will be around 35 degrees Celsius while the minimum around 29 degrees Celsius. In the south, Chennai will see partly cloudy skies. The temperature hovers between 29 and 39 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will also witness generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature in the metropolis witnessed 24 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 29 degrees. On to north in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 32 degrees Celsius. The city will observe thunderstorm with rain. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 20 degrees. The city will observe thunderstorm with rain. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 15 and 23 degrees Celsius. The region will have thunderstorm with rain. In Muzaffarabad, there will be partly cloudy skies with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. It witnessed minimum temperature of 16 degrees Celsius, while maximum temperature will be around 22 degrees Celsius.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. This can be heard on FM Gold at 9:30 p.m. Dr. Raman R. Gangakhetkar, Head Scientist, Epidemiology and Communicable Diseases Division, ICMR, will participate in the discussion. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges people to be more alert and careful amidst COVID-19 pandemic. In his Mann Ki Baat address today, Mr. Modi hails the spirit of service by the people, calling it Seva Parama Dharma, says the number of Ayushman Bharat beneficiaries crossed over 1 crore. Prime Minister emphasizes the need to develop the eastern region, saying it has the capacity to be the country's growth engine. Phased withdrawal of lockdown announced, containment zones to remain under complete lockdown till 30th June. Recovery rate of COVID-19 patients improves to nearly 48%, and US postpones the G7 summit till September. And with that we end the Midday News.